People, Deluded, I'm back again. You called for Jack. I've got Jack in the building. It's been a long time coming, but lateness is greatness. What you saying, my boy? You good?
Yes, my bro. Yeah, guys, you know what it is. Yeah, that was my bad. The stream's a couple minutes late. You know what? You can't blame bro for that one. That was me. My
Mine on,
laptop.
man.
Oh, I'm here, man. I'm here. I've been waiting. We've been planning this one. It's good to
We've
be
been
on.
planning it for a minute, man. I think the last time I saw you was at the award show. Obviously, congratulations
Yeah.
on your part in that as well. And you know, I was making noise, you was making noise as well. So I appreciate you for that. Yeah, man. Like you said, man, it's been a long time coming. It's about time we get it cooking. We got a lot to discuss. The first thing I want to start with is actually an inspiration when we was like, what's happening in it? Community Shield. What are you telling me? What are you saying for it?
You know what? I'm less hyped than I probably should be. I don't know. Sort of feeling a bit underwhelmed at the moment, mainly because of the transfer market situation. I don't know.
We'll get on to that.
Maybe that's me being, I try not to be one of them fans that are drawn into the shiny new toys, and you know what I mean. And I believe in the squad we got. We just won the league. Like, how do I feel like well enough to criticize what's going on when we've just won the league? That's all I was asking for. Feel like I've got to be grateful and just get on with it. But there's still a part of me that has that sort of, I don't know, envy of other signings or want. Or
you know
greed.
what? Let's part the Community Shield for a sec. Let's delve on
Yeah.
this, expand, man, because you're kind of touching on being underwhelmed and stuff. Let us have
I
your thoughts on
know.
this.
You know what it is, yeah, is that I feel like you can't talk about one without the other, because there's a possibility we're going to be lining up with, if Saka and Rice potentially fit, but we could be lining up with, Max Dowman on the wing, and I love the kid, and I think he's going to be a well beater, but we're already relying on a 16-year-old, and we're not even at game week 1, and that's sort of worrying. So the underwhelmment comes into play, but I don't know, mainly because I don't know if anyone has watched the Forever pod I do on AFTV.
Yeah, man, big up you boys on that one.
We spoke to Ben Winston, so we spoke to Ben
shit.
Winston, who's a CEO and director at Arsenal recently. He's an American guy, and he told us things. Obviously, I can't share exactly what he said, but he told us things that gave us all hope and actual clarity and a bit of like, and that's genuine. That genuinely happened over in Budapest before the final. And that gave us so much hope into the fact we've now gone into this, and we're all sort of sat here like, So you had the Vinny saga, which I can't blame the club for at all, to be honest. But
you tried.
You know what it is? If we signed Rodgers for 120 million and then Vinny Jr. became available and Chelsea were favourites to get him, we'd be cussing the board out. So I don't think we could have won either way. With them type of players, when I think you hit a certain quality, everyone wants a player that's gonna die for the badge, and Arsenal through and through, and born in North London. Obviously, that's everyone's preference, supporting the club, and academy players we will have a soft spot for. But them elite players, I don't care if Vinny wore a Tottenham shirt when he was 6 or whatever. I don't care. He's that good where it's like...
He's a level raiser, man.
Them top 10 players in the world, you sort of got to accept... he loves Madrid. He told us, we sort of got told that from the start by Ornstein. If Madrid offer him what he wants, he's going to stay no matter what. But the story is that if they didn't, Arsenal was his next best opportunity, and I'm happy to take that. We put it on the table. It was never he wants to go to Arsenal, but they're not offering him enough, so he's going to stay. It was Arsenal have offered him more, but because Madrid up their offer, he feels loved, so he's going to stay. So I understand that one. And you know what it is, bro? Maybe you can enlighten me. Who else is there? Like, that's my problem. I'm moaning
that was gonna be
the
next thing I was gonna ask you, Jack. It's like, again, I share your thoughts in that it was ambitious going for Vinicius Jr. Obviously, and I'm happy you said that, yeah, because I've been arguing with my subscribers when we was like, if you go back a few weeks with the Vinicius stuff, everyone's like, we're gonna get him. I said, everything you said. Obviously, I want him. He's selling shirts. It's a level raise. It would gas us. But when you look at the fine print, not the headline, it's exactly what you said. It's reliant on Real Madrid. So you was reliant on either Real Madrid or him breaking that relationship down, then we go and get him. So like I said earlier, yeah, I admire the club for going for that, but fundamentally you never got that. You mentioned Morgan Rodgers. Whether it would have worked out on the left-hand side is another thing, but we were briefed. That's our top target. We didn't get it done at the World Cup. Left the door open. You're talking 117, 120 million. I can understand moving away from that. The problem is what you just said there is, where do you go from here, innit? Like, you know, Rodgers didn't work. Vinny didn't work. You're seeing 145 million for Bukola. I don't know, Jack. Honest to God, because you look at the left wing market, yeah, there's no, or just the winger market, and for whatever reason, to us armchair experts, bro, there's not evident guys. Like I was saying this on my platform yesterday. There's no Alexis Sanchez at Udinese. There's no Eden Hazard at Lille. There's no Griezmann at Sociedad. So I don't know where we turn. I really don't know where we turn. But then at the same time, yeah, if I'm honest, I rate you, Arteta. I rate what Berta's doing. I rate all the executives, like what you know alluded to with that. This is you lot's job, because left wing is not something new. We didn't stumble in the summer and thought, oh my God, we need a left winger. We've known this for years. And my thing is, I don't know where we turn, but we have to do something, because what we're doing hasn't worked. You've tried to go for the stars for whatever reason, that never happened. You know, we never really, like you mentioned, Vinicius. You remember Neymar, Real Madrid wanted him. He went Barcelona. So Real Madrid went, okay, we missed out on Neymar. The next one over them sides, we're not missing out. And you can obviously see with the Vinnies and the Rodrigos. So do we go down that route? And then it's a weird one where, if I'm honest, bro, I'm conflicted, because we've won the Premier League. We know we need level raises. Optimism's at an all-time high. You know, all the language coming out the club was, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, bring up the Bruno G signing. But ultimately, we've only brought in Zolis, in which, isolated to Zolis, I like you. I like what you could be. But in terms of gassing the fans or making me think we've finally addressed that left-hand side, it's a weird one. And then, like, I was even debating this with my brethren, yeah. And if I bring up some names for you, yeah, would you take any of these guys? I'm going for some guys that are going to polarize opinion. Pardon?
Hit me. I know there's one you're going to say, and I'm already ready to go off on him. So I know he's going to come at some point.
First one, Pedro Neto.
You know what? That don't even deserve really our discussion, I think. Darkness, bro. Pedro Neto, Champions League final.
I'm not on it. I'm just going to ask questions.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You're just reading what's in front of you. Pedro Neto. How, if I could give you a quick couple lines of Pedro? No. I think we took a risk signing. I always thought for the left hand side we needed one that we could maybe take a punt on, and one that can come in and hit the ground running. I think Solis is our one we've took the punt on. So anyone else that comes in, I think we need to hit. You know, 10. We're looking at 10 league goals plus minimum. And I don't think Pedro Neto's done that at Chelsea. I don't think he could do that at Arsenal either. And
got less goals than Magalhaes, I think, in the league.
Yeah, exactly. So if you ask Chelsea fans, Arsenal going to spend 70 mil on Neto, do you think any of them are going, oh my God, we can't lose Neto? Man, they're laughing. They're going, okay,
who want to shake hand for you, change your mind?
Exactly, man. So yeah, next man. No to Neto. Yeah, no to Neto.
Cody Gakpo.
Bro, I see that come up, and I hear it Spurs are going for him, but I see Liverpool fans moan about this guy all the time. I swear towards the end of Slott's tenure, I was hearing big up AGT. He was telling me,
big him up.
He needs to play Ngomoa. Rio's the guy, and he keeps playing Gakpo and shoehorning, and Ngomoa's only getting 20 minutes. And I'm hearing just this guy get slated. And the opinion, I don't watch Liverpool every single game week. Obviously, I see highlights against Arsenal, etc. But what I see from him is he's very he'll get a goal, but then sort of do nothing as a winger. He's not that. He's a bit stiff. But he's effective. He's effective. So
frustrating.
I mean, I don't think he's what we need. I think him on a touchline for us would be bad scenes. I don't think he's that quick. I don't think he's, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, my opinion, no to Gakpo.
No, I'm not on Cody Gakpo either, man. It's like if you're hungry or starving, yeah, any meal put in front of you is gonna look mad, innit? And that's where going back to it's jarring, bro. It's like going back to what I said in that. I understand trying to go for these guys and whatnot, and I understand we need a left winger, but then I am leaning towards, if there's no rabbit we can pull out the hat, honest to God, as much as I don't want this, then we might as well leave it in it. If none of these guys are 100% convincing, because we've already got attackers that polarize opinion, why add more man into it? So I'm with you with Cody Gakpo. Ooh, let's check. So we've gone Neto, we've gone Gakpo, Rafael.
You know what? This is one I would have took if we didn't sign Solis again. Another one where I think we could sign him, he could get 2 league goals and cause a scene. I don't know. Or he could start and he walks back and doesn't track. Because another one that I've seen on European nights for Portugal, he's looked okay in moments. He looks good in highlights. But from what I hear from AC Milan fans, guys who watch him week in, week out, he polarizes opinion as well in their fan base in terms of, does he get, for all the hype around his name, does he get enough numbers?
Don't get gassed off the skills. We need a man to do it for 90 minutes.
So apparently he's will play well for 20 minutes, then drop off for 20 minutes. He sort of looks a bit lazy and like lazical. But I don't know. Nah, I wouldn't. Mainly because we got Solis. If we didn't get Solis, I would have took him. I know Curtis, another one of the boys, he loves him. That's his option. Curtis wants Leao. And he's been wanting Leao, but yeah, not for me. I don't think he's done enough to warrant the hype of his name. Maybe because he suffers a bit of being, he's a drippy guy. You know what I mean? He knows how to dress. He's got a
cool London. What do you think's gonna happen?
You know what I mean? Maybe that plays into his part. Whereas, you know, someone like Solis, you know, looks like an ordinary guy. I don't know. Yeah, not for me.
I'm not on the Liao thing, and it's a weird one because I like him as a footballer. You know, he's a skillful guy, etc., etc. But I'm only interested if I don't expect someone to do it for 38 games, but you need to do it for the majority of those. If there's a 10-game stretch, Liao strikes me as a guy. 2-3 games, you're gonna be the best player in the world for Arsenal. Then you're gonna be the worst. Then you're gonna kind of be indifferent. A lot of people question mark him tracking back and all of that kind of stuff, and I do too. But I think it's more buying into it. Like, I know he's not Osman Dembele, but Dembele bought into that at PSG and he's flying. So that'd be a positive. For me, it's just a shiny new toy. As you said, he's drippy. It's a drippy name. And where we are a bit desperate. But then if I'm honest, I don't really think it's the answer. By default, you could argue, is he better than Martinelli, etc.? I think that's a scary slope to go down, because then there's, you know, if the bar's on the floor, in it, respectfully to Martinelli. So I'm not on the Liao thing. And also on Liao, like, I always find funny in the last few years when a player is too desperate to move, like they're doing interviews and stuff, they never end up going to where they want. Like Liao done an interview, he's like, oh, I want to play in La Liga, I want to play in the Prem. Granted, you haven't moved and the window's still open, but you're being linked with Turkey. So all of the quote unquote powerhouses in Europe, there's something about you that they're not really on. You might be a scrappy seconds, a bargain bucket, but I'm not on that. Nico Williams.
Nah, you see, maybe it is. You know what I think? Some of me is just still got part of Vinicius in my mind in terms
we
of
all do.
Every name you mention, I always go, oh, but Vinicius, because Nico Williams is another one where I think, is he better than Martinelli?
This is the thing. He's someone I'd take a punt on, but then I have to argue with myself, Jack. I'm like, well, I don't know his wages, but he's on big money. You're naturally going to get big money here. You're going to have to activate his release clause. As you said there, I'm still vexed about the Vinny stuff. And I remember the summer where he took us and Barcelona around the houses. So,
I don't know. You know what it is with him is that numbers this season. I think he had a couple injuries, so I can't hate on him too much. But numbers again in La Liga. Is he going to come to the Prem and get 10 goals, league goals, which is sort of what I'm looking at? I don't think that's it's not a crazy ask. I think I forgot his name, the Swiss boy at Leeds. I think he's a winger. He got around 8-9 goals.
Light skin guy, I know you're talking about.
Yeah. He got a couple goals.
Donko or something.
Yeah. My man got like 8-9 goals or something. So am I asking for something crazy for saying I want 10 league goals for the champions? So I don't know, man.
You need an upgrade. From a numbers perspective, Jack, all the attackers had their moments, but from a numbers perspective, Martinelli got 1 in the Prem. I think Trossard had 6. You need an evident upgrade. I know it's not all about numbers, but for us, it's about numbers. So you're right.
Because we don't have anyone that's getting that crazy. I know Yoker's our top scorer. We got like 14 in the league, I think. Is that crazy? When you're competing with guys that I know, obviously Salah's gone, but in previous you're looking at guys like Haaland and Salah and Kane and these guys that are getting 25 to 30 every year. And we're going like, we pray to God Gyökeres gets better and gets 20. And we're praying. These guys are walking in expecting, I wonder if Haaland gets 35 this year. And I know we can't get a Haaland. You got to be realistic. There's no point saying that there isn't one available. If there was, I'm sure we'd be after him. But yeah, Nico. Another one. I'll just put it down to, if we didn't have Solis, I would have took him and someone. But we got Solis. That was their answer. He's looked all right in pre-season. So no, I wouldn't take him for 80 mil or whatever it is.
What about Ndai?
Nah. You know what? This is probably maybe one of the better options yet in terms of, I think he can hit the ground running. I do think he is someone that could probably get 10 league goals if he hit the ground running and he did slot in. Price, I can't see being too crazy. Probably 60, 70 at a push. Yeah. Maybe that's a bit overpriced, but obviously it's one of Everton's best players. Premier League proven. You're gonna have to pay that price. He's a player that I think we'd want to upgrade on next summer. If we looked in the market next summer and there could be a better left winger available, I think he'd be a better option than Martinelli, but nowhere near what we're looking for, if that makes sense. It's like we're going,
facts.
Martinelli's got 1 league goal. We're just going to spend 60 million to get 8 or 9.
In our heart of hearts, we know it's not the right decision.
You know what it is? At that point, you're thinking, Martinelli, if you got one more in you, And that's when it starts getting scary, man. But
It's already scary if I'm honest with you, man. Like, if I'm honest, as I said, like, big up all the boys. They all had their moments. Even Martinelli, like, even silly things. It's not silly, but in hindsight, you got an assist for Max Dowman against Everton. You did get the equalizer against City. You're a different man in the champs. Since that 2022-23 season, that's been Martinelli. You're not going to get numbers like that, but you are going to have your moments. Saka is more of a fitness thing. Noni and Martinelli are just tools in the toolbox. I don't really want to bring in another one that's kind of like that. So, like, before I carry on, is it a case of, and I don't really want this, but it's needs must, do we have to keep our powder dry for next summer? Because 12 months from now, there's going to be other guys that we're linked with. Whoever
yes
that is. Maybe no. Rodrigo post ACL. I don't know.
I don't think you can. It's hard because then I think you're going half-hearted, because I think Bruno G is a win now signing. His age, the transfer fee, that's sort of indicating that we want to compete now, which, as we have been, you know, we just won the Premier League. We want to go again and Champions League. And Bruno's not here to play well in 5 years, is he? So he's here to play now.
They're here to do things today.
So if we're then going to go and say, oh, but wow, we're just going to give him Martinelli for a season and a half until someone else becomes available, it's sort of, oh, well, then should we have just gone and got someone younger than Bruno G that would be ready when there's a left winger? I don't know. It's polarizing both sides. I don't know. I think you go and get someone purely on the fact of, I think fan noise plays a bigger part into morale and stuff at the stadium than maybe people think in terms of.
I think that's why we got Gyökeres, so that's a good point.
There's definitely, you know, a big gap between, you know, a Twitter fan and a person at the stadium in terms of opinions. A lot of people are a lot more express them more online. Myself, I do podcasts, etc. But when I'm at the stadium, is, you know, it's a lot more behind the team. But the general gossip, the mood. I remember pre-season, Curtis was saying when the Ornstein notification went out that we weren't getting Vinny and he was signing. Everyone was looking at the phone, was going a bit flat and stuff like that. Do you think we need like a bit of an energy bringer, like Alexis did, and, you know, like Declan did, like when we brought Eze out and we tried to recreate that with Bruno? It would help to have someone just to get, you know, everyone firing again for the season. It might be an Ndai or Nico Williams that maybe isn't, you know, the shiniest of toys we wanted, but it'd be so we'd all get behind them either way. So yeah, I think we need someone. I'd say get someone at least. Don't leave it completely. I think we've got enough money. We've got enough money to make a mistake.
Would you go for Rodrigo? Post, like, bearing in mind he's got an ACL and he might not play until 2027, because this is another question I'm posting to people as well. For me, it don't make sense because he's not fit. But
you know what it is? One, you don't know what a player's like post that type of injury in terms of pace and recovery and from certain other injuries. Also, he's not good enough for Real Madrid in terms of they've replaced him. They've just spent what broke their club record fee on Diamonde. They're keeping Vinny. They got Mbappe. Even Brahim Diaz gets decent minutes for them. Arda Güler sometimes plays on the right. If he's not good enough for Madrid, and that's the team we want to be beating in the Champions League, should we be going after him for a lot of money?
To be looking for him, yeah.
I always think that there could be a 22-year-old out there that just needs that, another Diamonde maybe, that needs that move.
Just needs that platform and that opportunity.
We've got players at the moment that can play at a level. All our players, even Martinelli, I'm not the biggest fan of right now, can play at a level. He can kick ball, you know what I mean? He can play at a level. We've got that sort of squad right now, you know. Rice gets injured. We've got Bruno G now, etc. Where we can sort of, you know, compete. We've got a bit of room to maybe take a punt on some of these younger guys, and I feel like they've tried it with Solis. He could explode. Who knows? What if he replicates his numbers from Belgium? Obviously,
and then we're laughing.
Very, very highly unlikely, but they've gone, oh, maybe there's at least a 10% chance of that happening. Let's take the punt for 40 mil, whatever it's 35 mil. So I like that sort of thinking in terms of what's the point in signing someone that's not good enough for Real Madrid to take into a Champions League to beat Real Madrid?
And he's a bit like Vinny, who keep crying about Real Madrid and all of that stuff.
And he's not 19, 20. It's not another Erdegaard situation where he couldn't get game time at 16 and stuff like that, and he went out on loan.
You're a grown man.
It's not one of these. He's a starter. He's an international. He's not good enough for Real Madrid. That doesn't mean he's not a good player. I don't think he could probably do a job for us, but I don't think he's going to set it on fire for us. I think we should be looking at that 23, 24-year-old that maybe comes to us to go to that next level, maybe play better in a high possession team, something like that.
And you're right, man, because I know it's not the same, but like everyone knows about Sadio Mane and Arsenal fans. He was terrorizing us at Southampton, let alone everything he's done in a Liverpool shirt. But he wasn't the sexiest kind of name. It's fair to say that worked out. They signed Mo Salah. I hardly doubt at the point of signing him, Liverpool fans were waxing lyrical. It's fair to say he's done all right. He did all right in a Liverpool shirt. So that might be something that we need to go down. And that's where I'm kind of leading towards, because again, once people end up at Real Madrid's and Barcelona's, etc., I know we've signed players from these clubs before, but you're kind of wishing on a star or certain variables. Like Alexis and Ozil were essentially forced out. Vinny, it felt like we'll pull the plug if we kind of have to. It was a game of poker. What do you make of Ismail Assar? I'm not having him, but somebody commented it. I'm not having that personally.
Nah, not on it. You know what? I'm blessed with one of my boys, Mac. He's a Crystal Palace season ticket holder, and I don't know, man. He's not as shiny as maybe we all think he is. Can be a bit of a moments player sometimes as well. Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, not for Arsenal. Maybe yeah. I think he's good where he is. Palace.
And I don't know. It's not for me, man. You never know. And next one of our rivals, for argument's sake, buys him and he balls out. I say fair enough. I didn't see the vision, but it's not that I think he's a bad player. It's just kind of the school of thought we've been talking about. It just doesn't make sense. What about Kenan Yildiz, like the Juventus guy? Only because we were linked with him as well in the Athletic.
Yeah, I'll take him. He'd be probably the first name that I would take in terms of Yildiz. He's another one where I don't think he's my dream signing, but he's good enough that I think in a couple of years he could become that 30 goal a season player. He's got that potential in him.
And he's another one like Rodgers, man. I don't know long term if you're a left winger, but I'm on signing you and figuring that out.
I'd say realistically, I'd say his close control, dribbling, etc. is probably his biggest attribute. He could be good on the touchline, which is why he probably plays on the left, but I don't know. Is he rapid? I don't think he's slow. I think he's quicker than Trossard and Solis now. I think he's a quick option. I don't think he's Martinelli level, but he's definitely an option. I think, what's he getting? Around 10 to 15 all comps, roughly. Decent for his age.
That'll make the world of difference over here.
So, yeah, you know what? I'll take a punt on him, but I think out of all the names you mentioned, I think he's the only one that probably doesn't want to come in terms of...
Yeah,
he likes Juventus, man. Apparently, he's a big Juventus man. Del Piero, one of his idols, etc. I don't know. Juventus fans would kill him as well. He's like, Juventus are not the Juventus of 10, 15 years ago. They are not the best right now, and
they're in the dumps, man.
He's their one shining light. If they got rid of him, that's like us getting rid of Saka in like 2020.
Yeah,
it'd be like
suicide.
Like, you've just pulled everything out the club. So I don't even think 100, 150 mil would do anything. And then you start looking at towards 150, 200, and I just think he's not worth that. We could have got Vinny for that.
Crazy.
It's tough. It's tough.
And I'm happy we ain't got to make these decisions, man.
Yeah,
what about,
that's the thing. We don't make them. We don't make them.
And this is where I'm saying, like, as much as I can have my opinions, Arteta, your job is to coach and obviously help with the targets. Bert are the same. I've got faith in you lot, and I rate you lot. So I hope you lot are doing your jobs, because as much as I can cut you lot excuses and be a bit critical, at the end of the day, the bottom line comes September the 1st. What have we done? What haven't we done? Bruno G, step in the right direction. Can't big him up enough. I think we will sign a defensive reinforcement. We'll get into strikers, but I don't know where the Osman links personally are coming from. To me, it makes sense, but it doesn't really make sense. If I'm honest, and we sign a defender, it's not that we didn't need it, and it's not that we didn't need Bruno. It's like we're already strengthening areas we're stronger in comparison to the left. Because on paper, I like what Zolas could be. Him in isolation, I like him, but I'm gonna have to, like you were saying, in terms of having hopes as fans, we're probably going to place them on him to an unrealistic expectation, because he's obviously kind of new to this. You've got the whole Eze left wing debate, and we've been speaking about Martinelli. It's a bit bleak on that left-hand side, and indirectly what we do in the left of midfield, and obviously who is actually going to be our left back. What are you saying for Nusa? Antonio Nusa of Leipzig, Norwegian lad. He knows Odegaard.
Nah, I think he's too raw. I think he needs a Brighton, Brentford. I think he needs one of them. You see, like a 45 mil to Brighton, I can see that happening. Whereas he's probably linked to us for 85. And do I think he's ready for us? Do I think he could be a play for us? I know sort of counter contradicts what I was saying about trying to look for that next guy, but I think the difference between him and Yildiz is Yildiz could be that next guy, and he's already performing at a level that's better than what we got. Whereas I don't know if he'd come in and Nusa would come in and translate straight away.
That's what Nusa could be versus what he actually is right now.
Whereas I think Yildiz is already something and could be even better. Whereas he's like probably operating similar levels to Martinelli right now. If not, maybe is he as good? I don't know. There's conversations, Bundesliga, etc. Sancho stories. Reece Nelson's last good season was fully in the Bundesliga. I don't know, man. Yeah, not for probably the price it cost. They're probably waiting for him to have that 20, 30 goal season to go and get 100 mil from him or something. That's probably what they're waiting for. And I don't think we've really got that time in that left wing spot at the moment. Another one that if we didn't sign Solis, I would have signed him and then signed someone else.
Where you at with Grealish? In fact, better yet, Jack Grealish and Marcus Rashford. They're the last two names.
Oh, you see, I told you right at the start that I know you're going to mention one name. And
yeah, that's why I purposely tried to leave it out and gamble and sign C in your face. Which one is the name?
Rashford, man. Marcus Rashford. No, man. No. It's 20. We're in 2027 very soon, you know. Like, very soon. It's August. Before you know it, season's gonna start next week. Or even tomorrow, even if you count the Community Shield. 20 Marcus Rashford. Does everyone just forget he went to Aston Villa? The people remember he went to Aston Villa.
Until you mentioned it, I've just gone, oh yeah, shit, he was at
Villa.
I definitely forgot that.
And if you minus one game against PSG, can anyone name anything Marcus Rashford did at Aston Villa? Because I can't remember nothing. And apparently he's going to come in and be the answer for Arsenal in a Champions team and get to Champions League finals. And all I'll say is I'm not an expert. I do think there is a player somewhere in Rashford. He's proven it. His old seasons, about 6 years ago, yeah, he looked like he could be a world beater. But yeah, all I can say, Barcelona had him for a season. They said no thank you and then spent 80 mil, 70 mil on Anthony Gordon. Does that not tell people enough that they'd rather spend that on Gordon? That might set
some alarm bells going.
They had the option for what, like 30, 40 mil to keep Rashford. And they said, no, we'd rather spend double that on Anthony Gordon, who, if we signed Anthony Gordon, I think a lot of people would have been like, I'm not sure about that. So, hey, that's me. Not for me, man. Not for me. Grealish, yeah, joke. Like, no, man. That's Everton and Brentford and starting to sell some shirts. You see one of them ones where, you know, you're Forest and you say, oh, we can sell some shirts. We had Jack Grealish.
You're the big fish in a small pond with the greatest of respect to these clubs.
Yeah, you know what?
Out of the two, who would you go for, though? Like, if you had to pick, like, between Rashford and Grealish, I can't lie, I'd probably go Grealish, you know?
At that point, Calafiori could probably play left wing. You know what I mean? Like, and think about it in your head and then deep it and then realize it's not even that mad of a shout. When
it's not mad. That's why I started laughing. It sounds crazy, but he basically is there anyways.
When you're naming Grealish and Rashford, that's what I'm thinking. Fuck it, just put Calafiori there. But nah, man. Sorry, I know there's a lot of Rashford. Yeah, big up Sadiq 111. Not interested in Rashford. There's a lot of fans that are. You've probably seen it. A lot of men are going, oh, I'll take the punt. I'll take this. Nah, thank you.
The only way I would make some level of sense with Marcus Rashford, or if it was some loan where we're not paying all of his wages, and still then I wouldn't have him. I think I like the illusion of Marcus Rashford more than actually what he is. Like, yeah, he, like you said, he's a good player. He does some star stuff, but you're another one where there's 10 games. You're going to do a mad thing in a couple of them. The others, you're indifferent. And I pray it works because everybody likes Rashford. You know, he's feeding kids and that. We want you to obviously have a good run, but it just doesn't make sense for me, if I'm honest. Like, I could see Arteta going for you and whatnot. And I'm not even going to answer this. Forget the Mudryk thing. If you're taking performance-enhancing drugs and getting worse, something's wrong with you, bro. Like, it's just, like, how do you do your decision-making is somehow worse off the field than it was on it. And even with Mudryk, I knew he wasn't going to bang at Chelsea purely because he did exactly what Nicolas Pepe did. They both played Liverpool. They were the times everyone had that. Do you remember there was that stat? Nobody's dribbled past Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Mudryk went past him. Everyone was gassing it. I was saying to my Chelsea brethren, I hope for your sake it works out. I've been here with Pepe. It's fair to say what happened, innit? It's a weird one, man. So the left wing mark, I don't know where we turn, bro. I don't.
Yeah, there's no glaring obvious option that everyone's going, oh, why don't we just go get this person? There's no option. Even thinking off the top of my head of names you haven't named, I don't think there is anyone. You've even gone down to Grealish, bro. Like,
I'm bargain hunting, bro.
No, man. from everyone you've named, Yildiz is probably my option, but even then, that's not who I
It's a long
dreamt of at
shot.
the start of the summer. Yeah, still a long shot as well.
Do you feel like it's a bit of a how can I make it make sense? Like, because we tried for Yildiz, the Athletic said that didn't bang. But Cola's 145 million, that's not going to bang. Rogers didn't bang, and Vinny didn't bang. Do you, considering the fact that we won the league and we're optimistic, like, is it a case of like we've been brought back down to earth type of thing?
The only thing I would say is that PSG up there with Real Madrid and Barcelona arguably probably have the best attack in world football in terms of front three, and they've still made 3 forward signings this summer. In
True.
Ferran Torres, Mika Gertz, and there's another one they signed as well.
The Monaco lad.
The boy from Monaco, yeah. So they've still managed to make 3 signings that can play on the left, that can play on the right, can even play false nine with Ferran Torres, and we've made none. So you're telling me there's 3 players out there good enough to strengthen PSG, but not good enough to strengthen us? And I don't think that's true. And none of them went for crazy. Ferran Torres about 50 mil. I think similar. I think they're all around 50 mil.
None of them broke the bank, quote unquote.
Yeah, you've got 3 players there that arguably I would have took all 3 at Arsenal. I understand the guy from Monaco maybe had a preference for PSG from the start, but the other 2, Ferran Torres has come from Barcelona. He's played in the Prem before at City. Was decent at City. He could have been an option. The boy from Ajax, I think we were linked with maybe a month ago.
Yeah, and then obviously PSG having now.
And we didn't go for him. So is he good enough for PSG? He's not good enough for us. I don't know. Obviously, maybe they're looking at it as they're the sort of players that are going to fill in them league games to rest the Dembélés and the Kvaratskhelia. But I don't know. Berta's got a lot to say. I think obviously you can't judge him till the end of the window. Who knows what can happen? Like that Vinny tweet from Ornstein came out of nowhere. He could just tweet another madness. Who knows? But the fact that the Community Shield's tomorrow and we've made 0 forward signings by Solis is a bit worrying.
So do you like where are you at? Like, because I don't really want to have this discussion, but we do in it. If we're not going to bring anyone in, which at this moment in time we ain't, yeah. How do you look at the left wing? Is it Martinelli's spot? Do you go with Zolis? Do you have that debate again, like putting Eze left wing? Where are you at with it?
I think the answer is Eze at left wing, but only if we have a different striker that's not Gyökeres.
Expand on that.
Because I think Eze's not. I think we saw against Aston Villa last. I think it was Aston Villa last season where he got done not tracking back. I think in that City game away, he got looked a bit lost sometimes when we started with him on the left. He's not going to give you that defensive support that maybe we're used to from a Martinelli or Trossard. Mainly purely to the fact of I don't think he's a rapid player. I don't think him sprinting around the pitch all game is his style of football. He's more, creative, a magic and a moments player. And I like Eze. So I think if we're going to play him on the left, we need to keep the ball and keep the ball high up the pitch. So he needs to stay as high up as possible at all times, and we're not relying on him coming back. Let Calafiori or Hincapié
let him go and do why he's a professional footballer, all that star stuff.
And yeah, but then Gyökeres, we're playing the ball into him. It's bouncing off his shins, or we're playing the ball high. And
I love him, but it's so ugly. It's beautiful, man.
You know what it is? Is like I don't hate Gyökeres, and I would keep him at the club. I think Atletico Madrid in the Champions League at home last season. I was at the game, and probably one of my favorite performances of the season.
Probably the best game in an Arsenal shirt.
Where he was onto everything. He made it a nightmare for them. They couldn't handle him. He was throwing everyone on the floor. He's chasing after everything, full pelt. And I loved it. And I think you need that at the club in some games, especially the Champions League. You need that type of football. But in a lot of our Premier League games where low blocks and you've got to keep the ball and you don't get, many crazy chances.
He's redundant.
Having a striker that can't control the ball, which he can't. He's a good finisher. He's got a bit of a clutch lean in him sometimes. But yeah, can't control a football. And him bouncing the ball around his shins and Eze having to completely run back all the time is probably a recipe for disaster.
It don't sound good, man.
Yeah, man. If we were to bring in Alvarez, as we've been linked, but I see today that maybe that story might be over now.
I ain't even putting my heart into that one, man. I'll be real. Myth.
It's another one that I think is similar to Vinny. If Atletico finally accept what Barca offering,
you're chasing girls who don't want you, bro.
Yeah,
forget
it's dark. And I think Vinny is at the level where, like, Vinny is a 10-10 model, yeah, where you're like, you know what? I'll be seconds. It's calm. Like, she's crazy.
The game's the game.
Alvarez is maybe like a 7, where you're like, you're sat there going, is it worth being seconds? But you're still debating it because she's still a 7 or something. And yeah, it's one of them ones. I feel like Alvarez is way better than what we have, but another one where is he already at his ceiling? I don't know. Can he get much better than what he is? Is he the best for what?
And numbers wise, as much as I don't believe in the numbers with Alvarez, the numbers last season is a bit shaky still.
Yeah, weren't great. Obviously, in the other side, you maybe look at Gyökeres when you've got 21 all comps, and you probably look at that and go, that's quite good. And from the outside, that looks quite good. But then when you watch him for 90 minutes, you sort of think, core, like, he's not the best footballer. Whereas Alvarez is probably the opposite, where you look at his numbers, they're not that great, but you watch him play football and he's crazy. His link-up plays, positioning, his ball striking, set pieces, he's a lot better player.
It's a weird one, man. So that where do you? Because for me, there's Kai Havertz and Gyökeres. They're a weird one, innit? I think it depends on they're men that there's 38 games. I don't think one is the fix for the 38 games. Going like what you said with Haaland. I know we ain't got Haaland, but it don't really matter who you're playing, what the other team's doing. Haaland's playing. I think there's sometimes Gyökeres is gonna thrive. I think there's sometimes Kai's gonna thrive. I do think for Arteta's system, Kai's the ideal one. I do think, as you said, Gyökeres, you do something we struggle to do, which is put the ball in the back of the net, and you got 21 in all comps. I don't think either are 100% convincing. There'll be moments we love all of them. Where are you at with the striker debate? Because Alvarez is one thing. We were linked with Krupi. We're also linked with Osimhen. Like, if we can't get a left winger, are you on like going towards Osimhen and it is what it is sort of thing?
It's another thing where I just, like what I probably said earlier, we've got to strengthen our front line. Whether that's we get an upgrade on the right, up front, or on the left. I don't know who that's going to be. But we can't go into the season with the same front line. We just need to have options. Like I said, if we have a striker that's a bit more capable in terms of link-up play, is a better finisher than Havertz, which is probably what we're all asking for. If Havertz had Gyökeres' finishing,
if we could merge them together, we'd be sorted. But
we'd be sorted forever. But obviously, that's not going to happen. So we need someone that's probably in the middle of them two in terms of Alvarez. And I think that gives us more options in terms of we could play Eze, Alvarez, Saka. We play Eze, Solis. We play Solis, Alvarez, Saka. We could play potentially Alvarez on the left. Sometimes Gyökeres up top, Havertz up top. There's different options. So it's worth it.
Can get them all in the side as well, to be fair.
Exactly. There's ways and teams and home games against maybe some of them Champions League, group league phase games, whatever they're called, where you're playing, some random teams towards the bottom. There's going to be games where we can experiment, and I think we have to do that, because if we go into another season where we're lining up in some games with Martinelli, Gyökeres, Madueke, which could be our front three against Coventry. It could be if Saka's not fully fit.
0 ball retention.
Exactly. And we've seen that not work. I think even from the eye test, you watch it, they're all horrid with the ball. Madueke is good 1v1, but in terms of, on the eye, horrid, crazy decision-making, not there. You look at the stats, I think the XG or whatever, if you want to look into that, is terrible when we have them three on the pitch. It's like we score like 0.17 goals a game or something silly like that. So we know it doesn't work. And we're still going into another season after our manager came out and said, we can't deal with PSG. They've got like one-of-a-kind players, and we need that attacking talent, and we need that spark, and we need that Bayern Munich front line, and all these quotes. And that's what we're being told.
We've been saying that since we played Bayern Munich in the Champions League years ago, to be fair.
So it's not like we're asking for something unrealistic. And when we've been told, by the way, guys, our aim is to have some crazy frontline players that have magic moments in them. So we're now going, all right, where are they? And they're going,
where are they? Yeah.
And the only bit of sympathy, and the only reason I don't think I've not seen anyone really crash out. You know what I mean? Anyone's like crazy unhappy with what we're doing. But I think that's built on the credit of we're champions, and the fact that the market is so scarce, like the left wing options we went through. Right wingers, don't think there is anyone. We're stuck with Madueke, whether we like it or not. 50 mil.
I'm just trying to see Saka and Dalman, if I'm brutally honest.
Yeah, that's my front two. But obviously Madueke is going to play. Arteta likes him. It is what it is. You just got to accept that. Saka, obviously, hopefully, Arteta said he's ready. He didn't really play too much for England. He got a hat-trick in his last game. Hopefully he comes into the season fit again and sort of ready to play again. He missed a lot of last season. If he hits form, that's definitely a massive bonus. We need him to hit the ground running. That will help a lot of our issues. I don't know, man. I think striker is probably the most realistic at the moment in terms of what's available on the market.
But surely someone's got a goal, though, man. Whether that be Kai Havertz or Gyökeres. I'm purposely excluding Gabriel Jesus because I don't really think they're a factor beyond your wages.
Yeah.
So I can't see Osimhen coming in unless Gyökeres or Kai leave, if I'm completely honest. And then if they were both to stay, I think I'm going to see a lot more of Kai in midfield amongst all the other things because Arteta loves him.
It's more of a
and
thing
I love
of
him as well, but the reality is this, isn't it?
Tactical again as well, innit? If you sign Alvarez, I'd probably sell Havertz. Sign Osimhen, I'd probably sell Gyökeres. Just so you still have that difference in player. I mean, I saw a stat from. By the way, I don't think there's anything in this Osimhen stuff. I think the journalist that first broke it, people were saying he's extremely hit and miss, 50-50. It could be absolute nonsense, or it could be complete on the dot. I think we would have heard more about it, a hand of Arsenal or something by now, in terms of a name. I also think his character, I don't know. I know that word likes to get thrown onto players a lot as a sort of a get out of jail card, easy to throw onto a player. But I think doing Instagram lives and stuff like this, I can't see Arteta being a fan of that. I don't know. I saw a stat.
Yeah, nose for him as well.
It's going to be crazy. His wages are crazy. I do think he's a quality player. He doesn't play a lot. I don't think he's played 30 games in a season in 3-4 years. So that's another one that you got to have a look at. League games.
I never knew that, bro.
Whether that's injury or, I know some of them players have certain deals out there. They get to miss certain things. I'm not sure. He's a superstar out there. But yeah, I saw Champions League. It was like successful close controls in the Champions League. It was like 112th Victor Gyökeres, 113th Victor Osimhen. So yeah,
so the eye test and the data, it's a bit
in terms of what we moan at Gyökeres at. Osimhen's probably going to bring a bit similar to that.
We'll be saying the same things in time.
I think I don't know. Is he a better player? I don't know. It's another one where in the Turkish league he looks absolutely nuts, but Gyökeres looked like that in the Portuguese league. So until we see him in the Prem, is he going to look a bit stiff? I think Osimhen's probably done it for a bit longer than Gyökeres had in. He's done it in Italy as well, better league than Portugal. I don't know. I'll take a punt if he was like 60 mil, but he's not going to be. He's probably going to be like 90, 100.
They spent the bag on him as well.
Yeah, he's going to be, 300k a week minimum.
Bare signing on fees and his agent commission. Everyone's chopping bread off that deal, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe ask me again in like a week, and I'll probably say yeah. You know what I mean? I'll be starving by then.
The only thing I'll give Osimhen is I have seen you play in I've seen you play in France, do all right, Germany, do all right, Turkey, do all right, and Italy. But like you said, when you're bringing the injuries and the touches and the finances, and as much as I want a striker, I don't know if I'll quote unquote feel comfortable. I'll be gassed, don't get me wrong, if we signed Osimhen right now. But you've got Osimhen, you've got Kai, you've got Gyökeres. When you get away from those conversations, realistically, how does it all tie in? And what we spoke about at the beginning, Barzolis and everything else, that left wing, I think that was the one area that it needed to be addressed, man. I wanted to ask you something else about transfers. What are you saying for the Kwanzaa links as well? And which one would you prefer out of the two?
I don't want either, realistically. I'd prefer to get a right back, in my opinion. That's just, I don't know, maybe Arteta knows Timber's closer back than we think. I think for the centre backs that's on the market, the prices that are being touted, I think both of them are going to cost
madness. I'm sorry.
And I think Kwanzaa will cost similar. What they paid 30 mil for him ish. They don't want to sell him. They've only just signed him. He's got a long contract. Probably looking at 50 minimum for him.
Probably a sell-on clause in that as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be similar price. Yeah, Kwanzaa's younger. I think he had a decent game against us for Leverkusen. I don't know. Neither of them. I think both of them are coming in playing 6 months and then never really playing again. So it's sort of like
this is what I'm saying.
I'm not sure. I would rather go and grab a younger right back that's maybe a more marauding fullback, maybe a more attacking fullback, something that we don't have.
And shift certain people across.
If Timber's back straight away, Timber can play centre back. If not, Ben White can play there. Do I think Kwanzaa is £60 million better than Timber or Ben White as centre back? No, neither Kwanzaa. For the fact that we arguably have a top 2 centre back in the world coming back in 4 months, 5 months. I'm not sure yet. We don't know exact time frame, but probably around Christmas time. Saliba's going to be back anyway. I know you've still got to play 20 games in that time, all comps, but
assuming he's back on time as well, and there's no hiccups.
Of course, he's been doing up quad bikes and all these things with Ruby Rose. So I don't know. Get some ice on his back, and hopefully little Christmas presents to leave us back. But I don't know, man. Is Salmon a crazy shout? I don't know. I saw some people saying, is he a bit too young and is he a bit too fragile to be playing against? Erling Haaland's going to probably pick him up and throw him across the pitch.
But
you know
Jack,
what I mean?
sorry to cut you. Yeah, a lot of people saying this. They have to be prepared that yes, he will show his quality as a young player, but as you said, he will lose a marker. He will get physically bullied at times.
Yeah.
All of those things for a 16 turning 17-year-old. So if you're saying that, then if he costs us on a game, don't criticize him in it. And obviously, we're trying to fight for a league. Let's just say it's a KG 0-0. We miss an opportunity at one end of the field. He drops a clanger. He concedes a penalty. We lose that game. It wouldn't just be his fault, but you fast forward and we've lost the league by a point. With young players, especially young defenders, you have to be prepared for that kind of stuff. So I don't really want him. I want him exposed to that, but I don't really want him exposed to that. But fans have to. I do think fans are a bit naive if you think if you think we don't need another defensive reinforcement, whether it is a right back like you're saying or a centre half. I think it's madness to suggest.
We definitely need one. I think we're one injury away. Say if a Gabriel gets injured, then what? Obviously,
it gets dark. You start moving people around.
We know what Calafiori's injury record's like. He's going to get injured between now and Christmas. Calafiori's going to be out.
Ngapié picks up knocks as well.
So straight away, then you're looking at, we're going to have to drag Lewis Skelly back and upset here. There's so much going on. We just need one defender. It could be a centre back. It could be a right back. Personally, I think long term, if you sign Quansah or Konsa, both of them are going to be what? Are they better than Mosquera? Let's not forget we've still got Mosquera as well. Are they better than Mosquera right now? Probably, maybe. I don't know. Is Quansah? Konsa probably is. Is Quansah? I don't know. Could he be better? I don't know. Mosquera is still young. So then straight away, are they second, third choice centre-back? Konsa's what, 28, 29? We're not going to be able to get 60 mil again for him. And he's going to come in and be behind Gabriel, Calafiori, Saliba, Mosquera, potentially Timber, etc. I don't think it is, but I don't know, man. It's tough. I don't think there's a crazy right answer. I mean, this is why Berta gets paid all the money he does, isn't it, to find another Mosquera. So I think he's a good player. I think you forget he stepped in at Anfield, that period when Saliba had a couple knocks at the start of the season, and people were saying
he also had his own injury stuff as well. I remember Brentford at home, but you're right.
Should Saliba come back in? People were saying this crazy stuff, and obviously Champions League final. Trust me, I was in Budapest. I was there. I'm hurt more than most man that watched that game. But it's one mistake, man, and he's playing out of position against the best forward line in world football. I won't define him as a centre back at Arsenal. If anything, bro, he's made a mistake in a Champions League final. Do you think he's bothered about Coventry at home? You know what I mean? I think it could help him. So I don't want to write him out. I think we just got to get through until Timber's back. So signing a £60 million centre back don't make sense. Depends when Timber's back. If Arteta knows he's not back till Christmas as well, when he's hiding it or something, makes more sense. If Timber's going to be back after that first international break, then I think it's a more of a just get by them games. I think our midfield and forward line is good enough. Another one that the old judge said to me is, I thought it was crazy, but then the closer the window gets, Declan Rice centre back. Is that crazy?
I've been saying that. I don't want it, but it has to be an option beyond the obvious. Like, obviously, in an ideal world, Jack, we have a defender. There's people that can be moved across. We don't want Rice there. He can play centre half. It is an option. The only issue is,
good there.
Obviously, we lose what he gives us in midfield. But that's why you've got your Brunos and your Zubis and your Lewis Skellys.
Because then you could play a midfield of what? Bruno, Zubimendi, Odegaard, Bruno, Skelly, Odegaard, Bruno, Skelly, Eze, however you want to see it. Because we've got that Bruno now, we've got someone that could step in and sort of dictate and be a bit more of a presence.
And there's not too much of a drop-off.
We lost when we took Rice out midfield, i.e. when we put a right back against West Ham, and we lost complete control. Zubimendi got bullied. You're not going to see Bruno G get bullied like that. So we have got that option. Obviously, he used to be a centre-back. I think he's filled in there once for us. Maybe one game he played for us as centre-half. He'd be a crazy option in terms of probably the smallest drop-off from Saliba, which sounds crazy, but in terms of, it's to offer us that ball playing ability as a centre half. He's tall, he's quick, he's great tackler, last ditch tackler. Don't know, man. It might not be the craziest. Like I said, if we did hold out and Timber's going to be back, could Declan Rice play 3 games at centre back this season at the start and then go back to midfield for the rest of the season? It's fine by me if it means we can use that 60 mil towards a forward player or something like that. So yeah.
It's a weird one, Jack, man, because on one hand, you don't really want to, or Arsenal fans will probably sit there and say, 60 million on a defender. Why are we not putting that towards a left winger? I hear it. I think we can get away with it. I think we need another defender. I think, as I was saying, I think fans are naive. 3 to 5 months is a long time. There's an
Yeah,
international break, injuries and fatigue and all of these kind of things. And again, we never really see injuries come out like one guy's injured. Remember last season, Aston Villa, we never have both Saliba and Gabriel.
yeah.
Gabriel needs to kind of be rested. Calafiori and Hincapié pick up knocks. You said it as well with White and Timber. There, we're gonna have to be a bit cute and clever over there. So it does make you, it feels a bit, with Konza, I think he'd be probably more realistic of his situation. You know, he gets to play for his boyhood club. He's 28 years of age. He probably gets some long-term stability there as well, because you probably get a 3 or 4 year deal. I'd rather Konza purely because I think Konza right now is the better centre half. But I think you're younger. There might be like Aston Villa were told you don't want to do business. Leverkusen, they might be a bit more open to it. And like what you said, yeah, with the right back shout, I'm a lot more intrigued with if Saliba was to be fit today and you had Kwanza's ability to play at right back if Timber isn't there. Obviously, White probably would have left this summer if certain things never happened. So you've kind of got a long-term option there in the 23-year-old. But either one, I wouldn't say 100% convinces, but I think we need another defender. I have to ask you before we get out of here as well, man, like the Community Shield, man, where do you stand on it? Because everything City and Arsenal related, it's nothing but it's fans think it's a friendly. It definitely ain't. You can hear the way both are talking. Do you see it as a curtain raiser? Do you learn too much? Like, what's all your thoughts with that?
We're the only European country, or even country in general, that don't treat the Community Shield as a trophy. Realistically, I remember growing up, it was taken a bit more seriously. People used to count it, and then I don't know, maybe from about late 2000s, people started going, "Oh yeah, it's like the Disney Cup, the Mickey Mouse Cup, the Shield, etc." People don't care about it. Am I going to be absolutely devastated like I was after the Champions League final if we don't win the Community Shield? Absolutely not. Of course not. But I do think it's, hey man, if Spurs are allowed to sing Champions of Europe for winning the Europa League, then I'm allowed to be happy about winning a Community Shield. I think that's fair enough.
Trophies are
I think that's a
trophies.
complete trade-off. You know, when we take that squad photo at the start of the season, they're going to put the Community Shield there next to the Prem, and makes the photo look a bit more symmetrical if you got both of them either side in it. So
Fact.
I think for that reason, I want to win it. Do I think we will? No. I could see us getting humbled.
God forbid, man.
Purely because of the fact of City. I feel like, I don't know, Haaland's back. Elliot Anderson's back now as well. They got him to test out. New manager. We're not sure what to expect exactly. I know he played against.
We don't know who's going to start.
Don't exactly who's going to start. Probably in defence. We're probably not sure. I don't know, man. Doku and Semenyo. I mean, if Doku's carrying that form from the end of last season, that could be dangerous. Shirky had a pretty much free summer. He didn't play any minutes really. He's going to come back pretty well rested. I don't know, man. And then I look at our back line, which is probably going to be Ben White, Mosquera, Calafiori, and Gabriel. Don't know. Not sure. I don't know, man. And then is Saka and Rice fit? I know Arteta said in his presser they'll be involved or in contention, but does that mean off the bench, or are they going to start them both? Odegaard hopefully should be fixed. I think he's probably looked at our best player in pre-season with the limited time he's had. I really like him. Well. Decent World Cup as well. So hopefully he's knocked off them sort of injuries he had last season. Left wing, who starts? I don't know. Solis has started most of pre-season. I
want to see Solis, man.
The last game we played, Martinelli started. So I don't know. I'd go Solis purely to the fact, hey, he might kickstart and be some hidden gem.
It's just something new, man. I can't lie.
Yeah, something different for City. Striker, no clue. I think he'll go Havertz. I think Havertz has had some decent games against Man City, bar that header in the last minute in that league game that haunted me for a bit. I think his hold-up play, team against City, like I said, about keeping the ball in high areas, definitely benefits us a lot more.
He might start both of them. It didn't work in the League Cup final, but he might start both of them.
I think Saka's got a lot to say if he does play, because that last Cup final performance, that was dreadful.
We need that man fit, man.
So hopefully he's back. He's got his braids in now.
So you got two ways with new hairstyles, man. I don't want to get all grey.
Yeah, man. He went blonde at one point, or ginger or blonde at one point, and he
a couple years ago.
So, I don't know, man. Maybe it's his new powers. I don't know. The prediction probably Heart is 1-0 Arsenal. Head is probably 3-1 City.
I'd go with that. Unfortunately, even right wing, man. Who the hell starting there? Is it going to be Noni? Is it going to be Saka? Me, I'd start
16-year-old.
Dalman personally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But is he
16-year-old.
16 and all that stuff?
I mean, hopefully no Rodri. I mean, I know he's back, but hopefully that
yeah, man, get on the
Barcelona
plane to Barca.
situation sort of gets involved because he's been a joke this summer. Or he could see it as a goodbye, win the Community Shield, and then head off to Barca, which would be annoying.
Right, same day.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. It'd be nice to see what City are like as well. What if we absolutely slap him and Maresca has no idea what he's doing, and we sort of go into the season thinking, oh, this is going to be a walk in the park. Who knows? But I wouldn't take too much off it. At the end of the day, I'm more focused on what's coming up for this season and the Community Shield. One thing that is probably a bit rogue from me, I want to win the Carabao Cup this year. That's probably my.
I want to win the FA Cup, man. I want to win everything, but I
want to
think we do a domestic double.
If I could pick a trophy that that I have a little soft spot for, would be the Carabao Cup, purely to the fact I've never seen us win it, and I've seen us like all the finals we played in it is we've been humiliated, from Shirky kick-ups to Obafemi Martin's head slaps to Mustafi and
to
Aguero.
A young Theo Walcott as well. Oh, I don't remember the Mustafi one, man. He's putting up his hand on the halfway line. Sergio's running,
and it's always in the Carabao Cup. So I've never seen us win it. So I don't know. It's probably, people call it the most tin pot out of the lot, but I don't know, man. I want to see something in that just to hide demons. We've got the league now. Win the Champions League and the Carabao, I'll be happy.
I want the league again. I'm with you. I think we do a domestic double. Like, I honestly believe we win the Prem again. I know there's an element of the unknown. I know both actually at our club and with all the others, but I get it. I think we can retain that. Champions League, I can't do it again, man. I'll only believe we lift it when I actually see that. And a big thing that would have made me say, I think we'll get to the latter stages, but if we did turn around and you got a Vinicius or something like that, I think, all right, cool. We've got that bit of stardust now. I want the FA Cup because the last time we won it, we done it during COVID. And obviously, if I'm honest, I think we've been embarrassing in it by our own standards. That's our trophy. League Cup, bring it home, because you make a good point, man. And you know what? You're triggering PTSD, because I banished the Mustafis and the Obafemi. Obafemi Martins was horrible. And there was a couple against Chelsea when Theo Walcott was a kid and whatnot. Yeah, so you're right, man. Like, I just think the Community Shield's a good kind of, like, I wouldn't say wake up call, but it's like, all right, cool. The World Cup of last season's done. We're here now. It's triggering everyone. If we win, it's amazing. If we lose, it's not that deep. Either way, we need to go on. I remember when we beat City in the Community Shield the last time, they were celebrating something bigger in May, innit? So I guess it is a chance to see certain things tactically, as you kind of alluded to, Jack, as well. I think the biggest thing is there's a lot of unanswered questions. I think you could only really answer that Ben White will be a right back, Raya will be a centre half, Gabriel Mosquera probably. And well, to be fair, I don't know with Hincapié and Calafiori, but we're cool with that. Midfield, I don't know. Is Rice going to be there? And if Rice is there, is it going to be him and Bruno? Is it going to be him and Zubi? Is it going to be MLS and him? Is it going to be Odegaard or Eze? You mentioned left wing. Is it going to be Martinelli or Zolis? Is Arteta going to throw Eze out there? I mentioned the right wing. I'd go with Max Dowman. If I was a better man, I don't expect to see that. And I don't know what goes on up front in it. And then you throw in the fact that we're defending the Prem and, step in the right direction with Bruno. We want a defender. We're holding out for another left winger. I don't know, man. It's kind of a mixed bag of stuff connected to our football club, but we'll have to see, man. And Jack, I want to let you go, man, and get out of here and enjoy your Saturday, man. Where can people find you, man?
Hey, you know what? It's been an honor. Before we go, I just want to say big up what you're doing, man, because as you sort of alluded to at the start, we first met in person at the SJA Awards, and I know it was crazy to see you nominated in terms of, I'm working with a whole team and I'm working, 4 or 5 different people and big footballers and stuff like this to push some of the stuff I'm doing, and to see your name up there doing your thing and just coming off the back of the content you're doing was crazy. And that's why I was there, man, bigging you up, because when you're competing against, I'm seeing Sky Sports up there and stuff like this,
ITV and TalkSport and the rest of them still.
And then I've just got you on your ones doing your thing, and I think that's something to be proud of. And the content I've seen you doing, the way you articulate your thoughts, the sort of the way you put your content out, the clips I see of you on the timeline, and I've seen you about, you know what I mean. So I'm in touch with the content you're doing. I think it's really good, and it was generally really cool to be on. But in terms of myself, you know where I am, man. AFTV, you'll catch me on the Forever Pod, Instagram at JF9IX. You'll see me about clipped up somewhere, couple sports channels. If not, you might catch me back in Fenway somewhere. Who knows?
And more celebrationary pictures pending, man, with the Emirates. You're hanging off the thing, and but we need more of that.
I need more of them. This season, Madrid 2027, you'll catch me out there doing a mad thing after we win the Champions League. Just
God,
hoping.
please. We need this. Then I can die a happy man. All I need to do is see my team retain the Prem and win the Champions League. And for me, Arsenal Football Club have completed football, you know. And actually, you mentioned it, the League Cup as well, because I ain't seen that in my lifetime. That I can die a happy man. But it's going to be an interesting season, Jack. Big up yourself on behalf of myself and obviously the chat. It's always a pleasure to talk with people. Hopefully, the next time we talk, it's a lot more, well, it wasn't negative, but it's a lot more positive, man. But yeah, man, I've taken up too much of your time. Enjoy your Saturday, my boy. Big up the chat. Follow Jack on his platforms. And yeah, we're out. Any last words?
Hey, keep it coming, man. Appreciate all the love. Big up the chat. I'll catch you soon.
Come on. Peace. Always